I'd like to welcome you to our City Commission meeting for today, Monday, July the 23rd. The hour is 5:30, and we'll be led in a prayer by Commissioner Terry, and then we'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Please bow with me as we pray. God Almighty, we thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our city. I ask that our hearts be kind, our minds be fierce, and our spirits be brave. Amen.
Amen. You'll please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record indicate that we do have a quorum tonight. Our mayor is absent. His mom is celebrating her 93rd birthday today, so he's excited about that, and we're excited for him and for mom. And then Commissioner Suri is celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary in Florida this week. So congratulations to Commissioner Suri.
I don't think it's quite 50. Is it?
Not quite 50, but everybody will say, I can say it 50, but okay.
Close enough.
We have an agenda before us tonight, a brief agenda. Commissioners, with your permission, I'd like to ask if this meets your approval. Okay, then let's proceed then. The first item on the agenda tonight is hear the public, and we invite members of the public to speak on agenda items. This first hear the public is for agenda items only. I see someone coming, okay. Oh, she did it about face. Sorry about that, ma'am. I thought you was headed this way. Well, let's go on then. Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the previous meetings. Chair would entertain a motion.
I move for approval of the minutes of July 9th, 2018, as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any corrections, additions, or deletions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Item number 2 is the Tourism Board reappointment. That's Mayor Paris's responsibility, so I guess I better read it. It says recommendation of the reappointment of Mr. Shane White to be reappointed to serve as the hotel motel representative. Term will expire August the 1st, 2021.
I move that we approve the reappointment of Shane White.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 3 is resolution 2018-07-2301, National Register nomination approval. Is it Joni?
It is Joni.
Joni House. Thank
Good
you, ma'am.
evening. How are y'all doing? We met with DAHB, and they have approved the recommendation for the Old Wilderness Road, McGordy Avenue District. And so the next step would talk to you fine folks about getting that approval, and then we'll have some public comment and send it to the Kentucky Heritage Council for that process, which may take a little bit. So I'm hoping that you all have had a chance to look at that nomination. It's very good. There's a lot of really great information in it and very interesting information. I think that the consultant did a very nice job of really talking about how that's a very intact district as opposed to some of the other African American districts around the city that are not intact. So I thought he did a real nice job with it. So we're bringing it to you folks to see if you agree.
Okay. Chair would like to entertain a motion, and then we'll go into discussion.
I move to approve Resolution 2018-07-2301.
Second?
Oh, did you second? I'll second.
Okay. Thank you,
Well,
Mr. Cottle. Questions or comments?
I just found it really interesting. I used to live on Terrace Court, and I've always thought that area was kind of neat, and
It's a really
it's kind
cool.
of fun to look at some of the history and
And
the
some
area.
of those structures are a little older than I thought they would be, which is very interesting. The brick house in particular, I guess that was an old hemp way station there, and that's a pretty neat place.
So Joni, what are the advantages of us?
Well, it's a very good advantage to bring economic power into that area, and hopefully those folks will take advantage of some of the tax credits that are available to them. Within the state of Kentucky, you can get a 30% tax credit just to work on your own private home, so that's a great benefit. And then if anyone is looking for any type of commercial interest, there's another 20% tax credit that would go along with that. So it really will bring some economic viability to those structures and get some interest in them, so.
So we can save them instead of tearing them down.
Yes, ma'am, that's the plan.
Well, my comment was it was a great history lesson to have to read all of it this weekend, but
It
I
was.
couldn't put it down once I got started, so I really thank the researchers for their preparation. It was really
They did a
well
nice
put
job.
together,
They
yes.
sure did.
Other questions or comments?
No.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep this for history. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep this for
It's a
reference.
good one, yeah. Okay, next item is to hear the public again. This time, the public is invited to speak on things that are not included on the agenda. And I guess if you missed a chance to say something about what's on the agenda, you could do that at this time as well. Anyone for hear the public? Yes, sir.
Nick Wade with Heart of Danville. I think it's very ironic that I come up here, especially at passing this National Register nomination. I wanted to take a moment to invite everyone in the room to the 4th Annual Soul of 2nd Street Festival, happening 2 Saturdays from now, Saturday, August 4th at Constitution Square. This is a celebration of our historic African-American business district that once stood on 2nd Street. So we're excited to continue with food vendors, great music, beer, and we're also having the addition of a national street artist named RC, who will be doing a live mural demonstration on site during the event.
Wow, cool.
So that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, then on Friday the 3rd, the history conference highlighting African Americans in the field of athletics, various fields.
That is correct. Yes.
Is at the public library from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.?
Yes. And there is a reception to follow at Harvey's in their new meeting space. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Saw someone else's hand? Ms. Brantley?
Good evening. My name is Jane Brantley. I would like to invite the commission and the public to the annual Summer Singers Concert on Tuesday, July 31st, 7:30 p.m. at the Presbyterian Church on Main Street. The concert is free and open to the public. It's a community choir conducted by Dr. Barbara Hall, and we're doing a series of pieces commemorating holidays throughout the year, beginning in January and ending in December, and there'll be audience sing-alongs, and it'll be a lot of fun. So y'all come. Thank you.
Thank you.
You said next Tuesday?
31st.
31st, okay. Yes, okay. All right. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I'm surprised that you hadn't brought this up.
Well, our commissioner comments are next, but go
The
ahead. There you
NAACP
go.
44th Annual Freedom Fund Banquet at First Christian Church.
Yes,
That's coming up on July the 28th,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
And the guest speaker is the senior pastor of First Christian Church. And its goal or its theme is M.L. King, 50 years, life and legacy of Dr. King continues. Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Mr. Labriazzo.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
All right.
Hi, I'm Leo Labriazzo. I'm the principal at Hogsett Primary School with the Danville school system. And just recently, it's come to light about funding not being established or for SROs, student resource officers. I just wanted to say publicly what important role SROs serve in the school system, and in a time when we're actually wanting more coverage, the thought that we're not having that position is very scary, especially since someone, working right there in the schools. And just the SROs serve more than just the muscle of the police department, but also just being able to be preventative and just what they can do to help be the liaison between the school and the school system and the students and families. So I just wanted to say that I hope that more consideration is made and, to creatively come up with funding for an SRO, or student resource officer. So,
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Agreed.
I know I'm not supposed to address comments, but I'll just wait till later on, okay. Anyone else to the public? Okay. Oh, I thought I heard some rumbling back there. Okay, if not, let's go on then for commissioner comments.
Go ahead.
I don't have anything. Well, the SRO thing, not a funding issue, it's a personnel issue. Let's make sure it's about us having enough officers to put on the streets as well as put into the school system. And we will definitely be keeping the focus on that, but it's about a manpower issue, not a funding issue. Okay. Anyone else? And I forgot to mention that our city manager, Mr. Scott's not with us this afternoon as well, and I think he went north for some vacation times in R&R, I think. Okay. If no other comments, let's go right ahead then. Payment of the bills.
I move for approval of bill payments in the total of $236,460.73.
Second.
Okay. Properly moved and second. Any questions, comments to Michelle? Any comments, any questions? If not, all those in favor of the July the 23rd, 2018 bill list as presented, say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed? Thank you. Mr. Kofi, we've been on the roll this afternoon, so now it's your turn, Mr. Kofi.
I'll try not to hold us up. The, quick update on the Wayfinding project. I apologize I wasn't here at the last commission meeting, but one of the things I would have indicated is that we're trying to coordinate our schedules to get Mr. Carmen here to present to the commission. Right now, with the city manager being gone, we hope to have that occur at the next commission meeting in 2 weeks. And so hopefully we'll get their draft plan submitted to you guys at that meeting. And unless you have a question, we'll move on to the next item.
No, I have a question. I didn't make a comment.
Yes, sir.
I would like to see him come back and do another public presentation before it gets finalized back to us for a vote.
Okay.
So somewhere in between there, I think it needs to be another opportunity for the public to hear the final
It's a good idea.
proposals and stuff.
Before they bring it back to you?
Yes, because
Yes.
it gets back to us, it's at that stage where we're going to try to hopefully finalize and approve it.
Okay.
Okay,
We can do that,
thank
no
you.
problem.
Yep.
All right.
I was going to ask that too.
Next item, Resolution 2018-07-2302, the Lexington Avenue Park.
Thank you, and we can give an update on that park. First, the playground equipment finally started to arrive last week.
Oh, yeah.
And as it arrived, we began the installation of it. We'll start back and work on the area that is wet now. We'll get some fill material, and it will be converted into the rain garden. It will be finished, and so we'll work towards finishing the park and making it available as soon as the playground equipment can be assembled and completed. The splash pad equipment is what you have on the agenda. You're purchasing, you're trying to push that forward as well. The resolution accepts the purchase or allows us to purchase the playground, the splash pad equipment in the amount of $75,000, not to exceed. The actual estimate is a little bit less than that. It's $71,206.35. But because of the availability and colors and whatnot, it may go up or down just a few $100s. So we suggested that we round to $75,000 for the resolution.
Okay.
We will, as the equipment comes in, as the playground equipment is installed, we hope to be in a position, as it's finished, to do the concrete work for the splash pad. And as that process finishes up, then hopefully we'll start getting the remaining splash pad equipment in stock to begin to install it.
Wow. Chair would like to entertain a motion.
I move for approval of Resolution 2018-07-2302.
Second.
Okay. Probably moving second. Mr. Dexter, were you want to make a comment or two?
I just wanted to bring to your attention that typically expenditures of this type would require an advertisement for bids or solicitation of quotes for sure. However, this is the first time that the city has exercised really this right that is under Kentucky Revised Statute, which allows cooperative purchasing with other public agencies. And so the city's utilizing, I believe, for the first time, an entity or a conglomerate called Buy Board.
Yeah.
And that is essentially an association of other public agencies, school districts, things of that nature, where the vendors have already competitively bid to be on this site. So it's meant to facilitate and streamline the efficient governmental purchasing, essentially, and that is allowable under the statute. So I did want to just bring that to your attention, since this is the city's first time utilizing it, as far as my understanding is.
And yeah, and to expand on that briefly, you're buying little bitty pieces and parts and you're trying to detail a splash pad. This is the only splash pad we're doing in the community, right? So by going through Buy Board, you're getting the power of your dollars as if you're doing a real big project, right? So you're purchasing more in bulk, but it also enables you to detail more efficiently what you actually want as the end product. So the architect has spent quite a bit of time with the Buy Board and selecting and detailing what splash equipment he wants on the site, and so it enables that customization of it in a unique way, really. So if that helps.
I've had some questions about, there seems to be some standing water
Yeah.
Yep.
by
That's
the wooden walkway.
Yeah, that's the rain garden area. That will get some fill material and enable it to drain down into the it's a little lower now than the actual grate. And so the material will be gravel and sand and then a layer of dirt. So it will be designed to support a rain garden habitat, and it's just not been installed yet.
Okay, so there won't be standing
No.
water anymore?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, item number 7, Resolution 2018-07-2303, Trail Easement Acceptance. Mr. Dexter?
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm happy to bring before you the next round of what's been a lot of work from the Trails Alliance, I believe the official name is. And what is before you tonight would actually be an easement from the Kentucky Home for Aged and Infirm Deaf Incorporated, which is the official name of the property owner of the homes that are in general proximity to Pioneer Playhouse just across the street there. And this was through the work of the Trails Alliance to negotiate and obtain this easement, which will allow a trailhead to be constructed and help serve the connectivity between other trails, as I understand it, in a very limited capacity. But the document is prepared. It has been signed and approved by the owner. So upon your acceptance tonight, it will be ready to be signed and filed of record, and will just allow the process to continue as far as connectivity of trails in the community.
Wow. Very good. Good, good. I was trying to think of something exciting to say in the absence of Commissioner Siri, but I know he'd be proud of us for moving this forward, right? Chair would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Resolution 2018-07-2303.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Dexter, and I think you have the next one on the list.
I do. This last resolution is one that would approve a professional service contract that has been negotiated with the former employee, Tom Byerly, to utilize special skills that he has in order to, for a period that would end December 31st, 2018, in order to oversee some special projects at the discretion of the city engineer and oversee vendors that are particularly over sidewalks and maybe the Second Street Bridge and things of that nature that he has a unique skill set to be able to assist with. The resolution approves the contract that is attached, which would compensate Mr. Byerly at the sum of $4,000 per month, which he would be 1099 for at the end of the year. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Well, he'll be supervised by the city engineer and I guess by the city manager as well?
That's correct.
Okay. And he'll be given those assignments by those two?
He will be an independent contractor, not an
Okay.
employee.
Right.
But it will, so supervision may not be the technical term, but he will be under the
Directive.
advisement and directive of
Sure,
the city engineer and city manager.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a good plan. It's also, if approved, it will last for a period of 6 months, which will end the 31st of December of this year. Other comments, questions?
Are there benchmarks that need to be met monthly, or?
There are weekly
Just-
reports that have to,
Weekly,
per the contract, that have to be submitted to the city engineer.
Okay.
Other comments or questions?
You probably want a motion, don't you?
Oh, we got a motion, don't we?
Do we?
No.
We don't have a motion? All right, we need a motion.
I move for approval of Resolution 2018-07-2304.
Second.
Other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. That does take care of our printed agenda, but Mr. Coffey, during commission time, but I probably should have asked this again. Would you update the public on the dedication date and time of the Michael Smith Memorial Park?
I'm sorry, I don't remember what the exact date and time is. It's in August. I know it's, what is it, the second week, I
The
think?
11th?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't, completely escapes me.
I think
apologize.
I had on my calendar 11th of August, but I didn't know what time, and it's going to be at the park because that's the weekend of the Bate School Alumni Reunion.
I have the 11th at noon.
Yes,
Okay.
that sounds correct, yeah. I just absolutely don't remember. I know we've got a little bit more landscaping we want to do down there in advance, and I think we finally got the signposts in, and those were installed, I think, by the last commission meeting, but we'll try to make that environment a little bit more presentable between now and then. The contractor's been there, made it a mess this summer, so hopefully it looks
It looked, well,
great by the time we get there.
it looked a lot better last weekend because somebody had taken care of all the dirt piles and all that stuff, but looking good though.
Yes.
But you got a letter with, I like 10 or 11 suggested improvements at the location, so that's your, as time permits, I'd work on some of those items, but looks like you already have though, but.
Right.
Okay, good. Well, I wanted the public to know it's on for August 11th, 12 o'clock noon, South Second Street, what formerly was Batewood Park, dedication to the Michael Smith Memorial Park. Okay, thank you, sir. Chair would like to entertain a motion for an executive session?
Do we,
Do we need one?
do we need?
No, you know I didn't say
We have
that.
none.
You know I didn't say that. Well, y'all are wide awake tonight, aren't you? Okay. Chair would like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you.
We're going to vote? Aye.
All those in favor say aye. I said.